Okay, so I woke up today. Good morning. I woke up today, praise God, and I don't know, my spirit was just like, you need to pray. You need to pray before you get out of bed. And I was like, all right, well, I guess we're gonna pray. And my spirit was like, you need to start doing this every day. Like, non-negotiable. Like, I had a great day yesterday simply because I did worship. I just had my eyes, my mind on the Lord, because I'm like, I did some stuff that I just wasn't proud of. And I'm like, that's not who I am. I'm a child of God. I don't really walk by my flesh intentionally. Like, I'm always walking by my flesh subconsciously, but I know like whose child I am. And I was just acting crazy, to say the least. So anyways, I prayed today. I prayed that we have a good day, a better tomorrow. Also, to leave your worries and your cares at the door. And this is in reference to like work, because I'm like, I was talking to a co-worker. I don't know how to explain it, but I went to a different office and I was working over there, and I was talking to her, and she was like, yeah, I just leave all my personal things at the door. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I needed to like visualize that. I'm such a visionary, I'm such a visual person, where I'm always, my thoughts are in pictures. So words and everything, I see it as a picture. I don't really look at things literally. I'm always drawing a picture. I'm always watching a movie, seeing what's next, seeing what scene this is, changing the movie. And I'm such a person who doesn't like routine or predictability. So when I do act in my flesh, it's for my plot twist and things. And basically, my life is not a movie, and I'm not the main character, and everything is not about me. So I really have to get back in the Word and really get back to praying, because I strayed away from like the purpose of my being. And you can never go too far away from God where God don't want you, especially if you have an assignment that's much greater than society standards of, oh, you bought a house, you got married, you had a baby, you had a dog, congratulations. Like, I really feel like some of us are here to shift the world, and it's not about anything materialistic. It's not about anything like tangible. It's about the unseen world. It's about spirit. It's about energy. It's about faith. And sometimes you could be living your life and comparing it to other people, and seeing yourself as less qualified, as not good enough, or too damaged or too broken. And you could really sit up there and be like, God, I know you can't use me because I messed up too much. And people are what are they gonna think and say about me? Because we're so worried about the validation and acceptance and judgments of other humans who are just as much of a sinner as you are. Like, nobody is better than the next. We all have our things that we aren't proud of. We all have some things that we hide, and we all have flaws and faults, and it's just to honestly give each other grace and mercy. Like, nobody's better than the next person. And the things that on our human standard we measure people by, God is not measuring how good of a person you are by how many degrees you got, or how much money you made, or how many houses or cars you have. It's about collectively, how many of God's people did you show love to? Did you show grace to? How many people did you uplift and encourage? How many people, because it's also not about like saving people, but like, you know, we all have instances where we have the opportunity to be a blessing. And it's at that time when we're tested to show faith, like, okay, I'm not just going to think about myself. I'm going to do some good to somebody else. I'm going to share a word. I'm going to share some encouragement. I'm going to gift somebody something that's less fortunate. Like, it's really about embodying the spirit of Christ and being of love and what's the word? I don't want to say generosity, but giving. I'm trying to say giving. Because you're grateful for what you have and you are able to give. I guess that's the real importance of like tithing and things, because the church, where they're supposed to like reuse the money for the community and for the greater good of the collective, of God's people, of God's children. But you know, I don't want to get into church talk. I haven't been to church. And I talked to my mom, and her and her boyfriend stopped going to church because it got too Hollywood. And I thought I wasn't surprised. But it's just sad now that the world is becoming so much into our flesh, so much into how things look instead of how things actually feel. Because we could get deceived by looks. The devil can make things look better than what they really are. And I just think it's important to keep your heart focused and open with God. And can you get the freak off of my butt? My bad. I think I got it wrong. But anyways, that's all I got.